Joining us now is NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Melas and Stephen Battaglio, staff writer at the Los Angeles Times. Chloe, what do we know about Jimmy Kimmel's return today, and what prompted Disney to say now's the time to bring him back?
In Disney's statement, they basically say that they had ongoing conversations with Jimmy Kimmel, and at the time they felt that it was the right decision to preempt him and take him off the air, given the fact that the national discord was very heated at this moment, and they actually said that Kimmel's comments about Charlie Kirk and his assassination were, quote, ill-timed, right? But now he's going back on the air. He has this monologue where he will undoubtedly address all of this that has happened. And will he lower the temperature? I mean, I want to point out that his contract is up in May of 2026. He had said a few years ago when he re-signed that he was quietly quitting. You could imagine that he's not going to want to now feel as though he cannot be himself on the air and that he's constantly in fear of losing his show. But at the same time, you have these affiliate owners, Sinclair and Nexstar, who are not going to be airing Jimmy Kimmel tonight just because Disney's putting him back on the air. They are still going to preempt his show in their local markets.
So we assume they'll be listening to hear what he has to say, because didn't Sinclair at one point say if he apologizes, maybe we'll reconsider?
That's the thing. You had Sinclair, who owns several of these ABC affiliate stations, on us say that under no uncertain terms would they bring him back unless he issued this groveling apology to Charlie Kirk's family and also made a donation to Kirk's organization. So there are a multitude of things that Kimmel could say tonight. I mean, I had somebody float earlier that what if he says, you know, I can't do this show anymore in fear of constantly being censored. But he also has dozens of people that work for him that have bills to pay, families to feed. And it's not just about Jimmy Kimmel. And obviously, there are all these business deals behind the scene for Disney. They need the government's approval. Bob Iger, who runs Disney, with his deal ESPN and the NFL. Then he's also trying to merge Hulu, his streamer, with another company that's worth billions of dollars. So they need the administration also to be on their good side in a way as well.
Yeah, Stephen, FCC Chair Brendan Carr really kind of set off this snowball of actions we've seen. Now he appears to be playing cleanup on those comments he made last week, where he said we can, quote, do this the easy way or the hard way when talking about ABC and stations after Kimmel's comments. Well, yesterday he said Democrats are, quote, misrepresenting the work of the FCC and that no threats were made in any shape or form to revoke licenses of ABC stations. What do you make of this apparent reversal?
I would say that it's more of a dishonest statement than a reversal. You know, he made a gangster-like statement. We can do it the easy way or the hard way. And that sent a message right away. These guys have big deals on the table. Nexstar wants to buy Tegna, another large station group, and they want that station cap lifted. Right now, the biggest concern of TV station owners is the limits on how much of the U.S. they can cover. They can only own enough stations to cover 40% of the U.S. They want that cap to go up because you're competing against tech companies, which can reach everybody, anywhere, anytime. TV stations think this is unfair, and they feel that their only path to growth is to get bigger and consolidate. And who controls the keys to consolidation? It's the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr. So you know, when he said jump, they said how high.
And that explains perhaps why Sinclair and Nexstar are digging in instead of following ABC's and Disney's lead. Of course, that decision to bring Kimmel back tonight comes after all the pushback we've seen, including from hundreds of celebrities who wrote that open letter supporting free speech, Disney Plus subscribers reportedly canceling in droves. Stephen, do you see that as a successful counter-pressure campaign from free speech advocates? Has it been effective?
I think it's been effective, and I also think you have a CEO of the Walt Disney Company who's 74 years old and worried about his legacy. Is anybody going to care if that the Fubo deal doesn't happen, or if ESPN can't get the NFL to invest 10%? No. That's not going to be in Bob Iger's obit. What might be is that he was the guy taking Jimmy Kimmel off the air if he had done that. And I think he knew that. And I think that he wants to be on the right side of history and the right side of the First Amendment.
Stephen Battaglio, Chloe Melas will all be watching tonight. Conversation to be continued, my friends. Thank you.